I will talk about some topics on European Union package travel and Corona, mainly the European Union situation and the Spanish one. First of all, as coronavirus has spread all over the world, many states have adopted measures that have had an enormous impact on movement of persons. Taking the numbers of the World Tourism Barometer in September 2021, you can see that international tourist arrivals have dropped up until July 2021 by 40%, and the average from the pre-pandemic year of 2019 is 80% below the levels of that year. That is quite a lot. You see the figures of different regions, world regions, Asia and the Pacific, the Middle East, Europe and Africa, and the Americans. The coronavirus has, as I said before, a tremendous impact on travel. Yeah, since early March 2020, Corona has affected traveling, as I said before, around the world. From a legal point of view, travelers enjoy a strong European Union protection. The directive, the European Union directive, taking into account that travel plans can be spoiled by different reasons, such as natural disasters, security problems, like terrorism and others, has adopted provisions trying to get a balance between the position of the organizers and the position of travelers when facing the risk of the travel. We can distinguish, in this sense, three main situations. Is the alteration of the contractual terms before the start of the travel. The directive, legal regulation in Europe, establishes that if an organizer is forced to alter the package significantly, for instance, in the case of the corona, the traveler can terminate the contract. In that case, the organizer may propose a substitute, an alternative package, if the organizer cannot repone or try to repone the travel. In the case the traveler does not accept this substitute package, this alternative package, the organizer shall refund any payment made for the traveler not later than 14 days. The second case is the cancellation of the termination or cancellation of the contract before the start of the travel. Basically, the European Union Package Travel Directive provides that if a package holiday contract is cancelled due to unavoidable and extraordinary circumstances like a corona, either by the traveler or by the organizer, travelers have the right to get a full monetary refund of any payments made for the package within 14 days maximum after the termination of the contract. This is a right for the consumer, and in case of unavoidable and extraordinary circumstances like corona pandemic, an option for the organizer, who won't be liable for any additional compensation. The third case is the cancellation or termination of the package after the start of the beginning of the contract. In that case, the traveler has a right to terminate it in case the organizer does not remedy the lack of conformity of the contract. In this case, the organizer shall provide repatriation in case transport was included in the package, and also assistance by means of providing information, providing help in booking accommodation in case they need it, or providing help in trying to communicate with their parents in their countries of origin, for instance. The organizer shall also bear the cost of the necessary accommodation, but not more than 3 nights. It should also be said that the directive, this legislation, this piece of legislation, does not contemplate the possibility of refund in the form of a voucher, which is also not forbidden. I will talk about what happens in Spain. We, in Spain, our national consumer legislation at a national level establishes that the same travelers' rights and remedies as the directive. And this is due to the imperative nature of the directive. It also distinguishes between alteration of the package before it starts, the cancellation of the package before the travel starts, and termination of the contract after it has been initiated. It also does not contemplate the possibility of issuing vouchers, which are also not forbidden. Okay. Corona, as we all know, is a pandemic. It has affected the entire planet. Travel has been restricted for a long period of time, and maybe it will be restricted if the situation gets worse. Since early March 2020, many package holidays have been cancelled or terminated due to the corona pandemic. In consequence, many travelers have asked for a refund. To help the financial situation of organizers, some member states, instead of enforce the refunding of payments made by the travelers, they have allowed organizers to offer new travels by means of voucher, of issuing voucher, making them even mandatory for travelers. Other countries postponed the right of the traveler to get a monetary refund. As a result of these national movements, the Commission, taking into account that the consumer, the traveler, has a right to a refund, published a recommendation on voucher. And among other elements, this piece of legislation clearly recalls that travelers' right to monetary reimbursement shall be maintained, and that all corona voucher relating to travel should be protected against insolvency. The recommendations also provides for a minimum criteria to make attractive to consumers, to make them appealing to consumers, including a minimum of 12 months of duration, the possibility of transfer of voucher, and that underlining that they should be reimbursed to consumers after the end of their validity period. In Spain, initially, the central government adopted measures on vouchers, making them almost compulsory for travelers. They had no choice whether to accept them or not. After the recommendation was adopted, the provision, this Spanish provision, was amended, and now the vouchers are optional. They have a validity of 12 months, and after they expire without use, travelers have 14 days to be refunded. Although vouchers are allowed, as many of them were given when the traveler has no option, many questions arise. The first one is what happens with its validity. Are they null? Are they valid? The position of the traveler in case they are null is very weak. And also another question is whether there is any remedy to heal the contract if we consider them null. Only Germany has adopted legislation establishing that voucher unlawfully issued will be adjusted to the legal requirements. There are many more questions, such as what happens when with invalid vouchers in countries that have not yet adopted the legislation, and what happens when with the insolvency of organizers and Corona travel vouchers unlawfully issued. These questions worry very much the consumers' organizations. Regarding insolvency and package travel, it has been also a main worry of the European legislator ever. Since 19 travel packages are sold in advance, and many organizers ask for an advance payments. That means that if the organizer faces insolvency, travelers may lose their money, and in cases that they are abroad, they can be stranded alone abroad. Directive 2015 has enlarged its scope on protection in case of insolvency. Provisions establish that insolvency protection schemes must cover the refund of any payment made, and in case travel is included, also repatriation and accommodation in case it is needed. Corona vouchers are not considered by these insolvency schemes, and this is a problem because they are not taken into account, and travelers cannot ask for insolvency protection when they get a voucher which is not covered. In Spain, the situation differs a little bit. Since 1988, travel agencies, not only organizers, but also travel intermediaries, shall provide security not only in case of insolvency, but also in case of contractual liability. Even though in Spain, our insolvency protection scheme covers contractual liability and therefore could be interpreted that it covers Corona vouchers, it poses some questions. The main one is about law updating. None of our states, of our comunidades autónomas, has adopted provisions regarding 2015 directive insolvency requirements. That means that the terms on providing security for the refunds of all payments at a national level, Article 164 of our consumer legislation establishes a new scheme. Every organizer shall provide security on a turnover basis, but adapting it to the circumstances. The problem is that this provision has not yet been implemented by the states. And finally, I shall refer to the proposal for a Spanish package travel legislation reform, which has been filed very recently, and you can see that in the presentation. Maybe we don't have much time to make comments on it, and that I should also refer to a European Commission initiative made on August 2021 to begin an evaluation process to see if the European Union Directive on packages should be revised and to which extent. It underlines some points. You can see them on the presentation. Public consultation is still not open, but is planned to do it soon. You can see if you have interest, you can follow this that hyperlink to make comments on this initiative. And I think that I have taken much time that I was allowed. I ask for apologize, and I thank very much again Goretti for her kind invitation. Muito obrigado